Hey, Otis McGregor here, CEO, founder of Tribe and Purpose. I'm here to tell you give you a case study on an executive team that I worked with that was having some problems. You know, 3 things they were doing wrong. Number 1, failure to communicate. Number 2, using the wrong communication tool. And number 3, not being honest. As our good friend Ken Bogard said in our 10X Your Team show the other day, you got to be honest. You got to have that open, honest communication, and they weren't doing that. And what happened was they went from being an executive team, and I'm going to scratch this out. Watch how I do this. They didn't have the team anymore. They were just a bunch of individuals working hard. And what made it worse was not only were they working hard, they thought the other guys weren't working hard enough. And that caused this massive division amongst the team. They went from guys who had known each other for some of them 10 years to people that were almost wanted to get in a fight. I mean, it was that bad of how they were acting. They could no longer interact. So what did we do as Tribe and Purpose? Well, we started working with them one-on-one. That was step 1. So one-on-one coaching individuals, helping them understand and have a better understanding of who they are so that they could understand others better. Because one of the foundational things that we believe is that understanding of who you are, having that self-awareness. And the more self-aware you are, the more aware you can be of others, the more aware of how you can see others and accept others for who they are and what they're doing and what they're dealing with in life. When you understand what you're dealing with in life, you can understand better what others are dealing with in life. It's kind of a twofold thing. So that was step 1, those one-on-one discussions that we had. Step 2 is we walked them through a process of understanding how to get a better understanding of themselves. Understand what it was they wanted to do in the future. Because if you don't know where you want to go and you're just showing up every day in reaction mode, then how can you be a part of a team? If I've got what I think is a priority and I'm reacting and I'm going into it and I'm driving forward with it, and then you're over here doing the same thing, just head down, working hard, busting your butt, guess what? Man, we can't work together because we're both working hard for what we think is important and we're not working as a team because we had a fundamental breakdown in communication. Just the simple thing. Now let me describe this company, give you a few points of how they're set up. You know, they've got a core headquarters where most of the executive team exists. They live, they work in an office together, each with their separate workspaces, separate offices. And then there's a couple more that are on each coast, East Coast and West Coast. That's a problem. That's tough. It's not undoable, right? Everybody can do it. I mean, I've worked with businesses that have been spread out all over the world. But it takes some extra effort. And when we as humans get lazy, frankly, lazy in how we do this, how we communicate, what's the easiest way to communicate? Send an email. Or even better, send a chat, right? Using Slack or some other software means, whatever that may be. Using that as a tool to communicate and expecting that to just mean that it got there and it's received. not even picking up the phone and talking. I'll give you one more problem that I think contributed to the issues they were having. That problem was they had meetings all the time. Lots of meetings, which is great for coordination, but not great for getting work done. And that coordination happened in the meetings. But you know what was going on? Because there were so many meetings, they didn't have time to do what they wanted to do, to get done what they needed to get done, their job, because they spent all the time in the meetings. So you know what they started to do? Turn off the camera and then go do something else and not pay attention in the meeting and kind of do the, okay, yeah. Not really listening, not participating in these meetings. Because if they were participating in these meetings, they would realize that they were wasting a lot of time spending 25, 30 hours a week in 1 week in executive meetings. All of them. Because nobody wanted to be left out. Because their communication was so poor that they all felt like they had to be in the meeting in order to know what was going on. But because they were spending so much time in meetings, guess what? They weren't getting their other job done, which impacted the success and growth of the company. So how did we fix that? Well, we started working with them about communication. What is the best way to communicate? Face to face. Face to face. I mean, in today's technology, we have the ability, even though it's two-dimensional, like you're watching me right now, it's two-dimensional. It is still as close to face as we can get. If I cannot be there at the water cooler with you to have that sidebar conversation and think of other things going on and have that discussion, the next best thing is a video. But if we're in meetings all the time and my camera is off and I'm muted and I'm not really paying attention, it's not doing any good. All these sort of things start to contribute to the downfall of a team, to a team no longer being a team. They're just a bunch of dudes hanging out, working hard, and thinking they're the only ones that are working hard. So you know what we did? We sat them down in a room together and we worked through and we talked through. We had them, truthfully, expose how they felt, what was going on from their point of view, what they were dealing with, both in their roles in the business and in life. Because in case you forgot, there's no such thing as a work and life balance. It's all life. And we have to learn to hold it all together. And everything about our life affects everything about what we do in business and how we perform. So we sat them down in a room, just myself and the executives, the executive team, and had that tough discussion. Cleared the air. Said, this is what I'm hearing. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm seeing from my seat. What are you doing? And clearing that air. So we communicated. We opened ourselves up. They opened themselves up to each other and gained a better understanding of each other and realized that anytime there's a conflict, it's a two-way street. It takes two entities to have a conflict. And when they sat down in person, face to face, and had that discussion that we facilitated at Tribe and Purpose with some deep, thought-provoking questions that we keyed up before we did this executive retreat, and had that commitment to doing what was right, they started to work together again. They became a team again and realized that, hey, some of these things I say and do hurt that person. And I don't really like hurting that person. He's a friend. I consider him a friend. So I need to change the way I address things that I see need to be fixed. That's what we worked on. And then we did one final thing, and this was a lot of fun. We took a page from the show called Chopped. So if you aren't familiar with the show called Chopped, go on to the Food Network and watch an episode or two. Because what Chopped is it's a bunch of chefs that they get an assignment. They get a pile of food, if you will, and they're in a certain amount of time, and they're to make a menu, a dinner or dessert or whatever out of these ingredients in that certain amount of time. Well, we took a page from that, and we call it the Home Depot Challenge, or you can call it the Bucket Challenge. What we did is we went to Home Depot, got a couple of Home Depot buckets, filled them up with various things from screws, pieces of wood, some twine, a couple of pins, things like that. And we said, you had to build something that represented your team. And we took this group of executives, we put them into two teams, and we gave them about 45 minutes to do this. And man, it was a lot of fun. And they really got a lot out of that quick team building experience because they weren't expecting it. They didn't know what it was. Yeah, they saw, when they walked in the room earlier in the day, they saw the buckets sitting there. And they're like, what is that? But they didn't know that's what they were going to. And they got the most out of that because now they're sitting there shoulder to shoulder, working together to come up with a concept together and then building it together. How powerful is that? That's what you want to do with your team because they saw and they listened. They had those moments. Yeah, maybe there was a little bit of angst, but not much. But they had that excitement and a bit of competition because we had Team A and Team B competing against each other. And man, that was a lot of fun for them and me as a facilitator. Now, the team is back to being a team. These guys are working together. They're setting things up. They're communicating better. And when they still screw up, because you know what? They're still human, just like I am, just like you are, still human. When they screw up, they stop and they go, whoa, wait a second. I said I wasn't going to do that anymore, and I just did it. So I need to go back and say, hey, dude, sorry, I screwed that up. And the more aware you are of it, the less time there is to fixing it, to that recovery, if you will. So think about it. The more aware you are of making that mistake, the shorter the recovery time is. You get to the point to where you don't make that mistake. You don't act that way anymore because now you see that situation and you go, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person before you are. So you no longer have to recover and say, I'm sorry. You stop the action before it happens because you're more self-aware. And you've got the tools and understanding so that you do not do that. That's one of the things that we do at Tribe and Purpose. That is part of how we help small businesses grow because we help you build a team that has a culture of innovation and working together and success and continuous growth. That is what we do at Tribe and Purpose. Now, if you want to build your team. If you want to set your team up for success, grow your business, generate more revenue for your business, increase it tenfold, then go to 10xyourteam.net. Click on the leadership development system, labeled the system. Click on there, set up a call with myself and Camden, and we'll do a quick leadership audit for you. We'll help you understand, get an idea of what your gaps are in your personal leadership, your personal, how you show up, what's your command presence, and what's going on in your team. How are you identifying future leaders in your team, and how are you developing them? Because we can help you develop leaders in your team. And when you have a team of leaders, nothing's going to stop you. A team of leaders solves problems. They come to you with solutions. They don't identify a problem and say, I don't know what to do. Wait for the boss to tell me what to do. No, they identify a problem and they come up with a solution, and they come to you and say, hey, boss, here's the solution. I saw this was wrong. I fixed it. And you know what? As your team grows and their capability and understanding grows and your trust grows, then you delegate that trust and authority into them so that they just solve the problem and you don't even know about it. Maybe in your once a week ops meeting, they may bring it up, say, hey, we had this problem, we fixed it. Man, I love working with teams that do that. Boss, we had this problem. Here's what we did to fix it. Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. One other thing that you'll get as the leader of the team, as the CEO, founder, whatever level you are, when you lead a team of leaders, they will make you a better leader because they are going to challenge and push you to get better each and every day. Because that's what they want to do. That's what leaders want to do. They want to get better. And they're going to push you to get better as a leader. So go to 10xyourteam.net. Sign up for a leadership audit with myself and Camden. We'll help you break through, see where your gaps are. And you know what? Maybe our leadership development system is exactly what you need to launch your business to that next level of growth and success and go from a small, struggling business to an accelerated growth business because you have a business full of leaders that solve problems for you. Go to 10xyourteam.net and look forward to talking to you.